Hey, what is going on, everybody? Back for another episode of the PumpFun Live Build, where we are going to be building and continuing the build, of course, of the game show. Which we currently is called Card Shark. It is a classic 80s game show. Nobody remembers it. So we're kind of using that as the concept design here. Over the last couple of episodes, we've been teasing out that task with ChatGPT and trying to nail down that concept of the game, going through it all, probably over all in all, Adam. We're probably at about maybe 5 hours in or something.
Well,
But
5.5
welcome
hours,
everybody.
I think, yeah.
About 5.5 hours work with GPT to kind of dial it all in. Maybe going back and forth with the community, getting some ideas and this and that while we've been teasing it out. You can go back and check out those earlier episodes to get a kind of an idea of how to concept all this out. But first off, I hope everybody is doing well. They're enjoying their weekend. I'm sure everybody is excited about the Super Bowl today. I know Billy Bullish in our chat, I call him Billy Bullish, in our chat is super pumped. Go Patriots. I'll probably get slack for that. I don't really follow too much football. But Adam, how are you doing? How's your weekend going, my brother?
Yeah, doing good. Normally when you kind of get into a build like this, your mind is just constantly in it. But yeah, just started out a few things around the house today earlier and a little bit of time with the fam. So yeah, looking forward to getting into another show today. So yeah, looking forward to this. I probably got about an hour, I'd say, that I can do here for tonight's show. Obviously, it's the weekend. It's Saturday night here where I am. So yeah, I can get about an hour, and then if Mr. P wants to continue on with another bit of graphics and stuff after that.
Come a little closer to the mic,
Awesome.
Adam. It's a little low. I'm gonna turn up your volume here a little bit too on StreamYard.
All right.
But yeah, so anybody that does not know us, this is your first time tuning in. We're Moon or Dust Media, and you can go and check out our website at www.moonordust.media. I'm going to share my screen here and give you a quick look at the website. There it is. Let me pull it over. Just for anybody that's not familiar, we have previously built a live game show. You can see it right here. If you go to game shows and if you look down in the previous streams there, scroll back and you will see that we just did a game this Wednesday just gone with Coffee Coin. Shout out to Space Cat, the Coffee Coin community. Walked away with a nice bag there, taking on the AI whales. You can go and check that out, see what it's all about, and get an idea of the standard that we're actually looking to build this game on. If you go to the second episode of the PumpFun Build and Public Hackathon that we have down there too, you will see we played a little clip from the 80s game show called Card Sharks that we're going to be kind of picking from and using that kind of concept to create. So you get a good idea of the previous game show we built. And of course, you can see down here as well, we've also built Rico's Revenge, which will be launching on Ape Church very soon as well. So we want to bring that, the knowledge that we have, the experience we have through vibe coding and utilizing AI for these builds. Like I always say, learning and upskilling in AI now is more important than ever, because a lot of jobs are going to go obsolete, and it's not the AI that will replace you, it's the people that know how to use it are going to replace you. So it's so important to upskill in it at this moment in time. I feel the AI arms race is accelerating at a massive pace as well. So a lot of the time, things that you can do now, in a week from now, it could be 10 times easier to do it because of the rate of the, AI increasing as well. So now is the time, everybody, and hopefully by the end of this, people will have learned a lot about our process, how we do it, the softwares that we utilize. Of course, we're going to be utilizing obviously GPT, which we've been using a lot of right now. And the idea is to create that concept and get that final master Replit prompt that we will deliver over there. Adam's going to do and feed it in there, utilize the agents and the architects and get an MVP product down. And then we'll start working on using things like OpenArt, .ai, which is a creation software, basically content creation software, video, images using AI, tons of models built in there. It's a great piece of software where they house it all in, for all these different tools are built in there as well. So that is certainly something we're going to be using. And of course, 11 Labs is for audio, sound effects and things like that. And of course, we'll be using some Photoshop, Adobe, a lot of Adobe products as well. Is what I mostly use. I've been learning those for many years, grew up learning them. So it's a good go-to for me. But yeah, you can go and check out the website, everybody that is watching, lunardust.media, see all the things that we've going on. Of course, this is for the PumpFun Build in Public Hackathon. And this is episode 4. So we are at the stage now, Adam, if you want to share your screen. There we are at the
Yep.
stage now where we're pretty much closed in as far as the concept of the game is, and we're just fine-tuning that final prompt. I think we're going to give a read over the final prompt that we have right now, Adam, just to catch everybody up to speed.
Yep.
And there it is. And I'll drop us down here so everybody can kind of get a good view of exactly what we're doing. Do you want to read that through there, Adam? Or you want me to do
Yeah.
it? I don't mind. Go for it.
Yeah, sure. So I just basically just put in here while Mr. P was talking, please provide the game design document in a downloadable file to upload to Replit and provide the prompt in a single copy window. So here's the GDD file. We will download that. And there that goes. Okay. Then we have the Replit initial build prompt, copy the entire block. Build a web-based live stream game board app for a head-to-head card ladder game show. This will be, let me see, I can't scroll.
Hold on 1 second there, Adam. I just want to give a quick shout out to our guy, Super Seb. I see you in the chat there, brother. Thank you for jumping in. Who else we got in there? Anybody else jumping in here? I know it's the weekend. I'm not sure exactly what PumpFun's like on the weekend. But we got 7 viewers right now. Keep them coming over. Anybody over on our own Telegram as well? Boys, come on over. Everybody get over. We want to get some numbers up. And even whether you're watching this after the fact as well on YouTube or somewhere like that, please try and make your way over for any of the live streams that pop up if you can. We're trying to get as many numbers here on PumpFun as possible. We want to bag one of those 12 spots for the hackathon. So appreciate you guys showing up, of course, as always. All right, Adam, what you got there?
Okay, so see, focus only on the game board UI, game state logic, and producer controls. I'm just here. I'm not able to slide across for that. Okay, so what's required? Board, clean broadcast display only, no controls. Must be readable at 1920 by 1080, designed for screen share. Control, producer controls, interface, full game flow control. Match structure, best of 3 match, standard round, use 7 card letters, sudden death if tied 1-1, uses 5 card letters, freeze allowed in standard rounds only, freeze disabled in sudden death. Round start, each round deal 1 face-up card to each contestant, highest card answers first. Survey question system. Load roughly 50 survey questions from a local JSON file, prevent repeats within a match, allow producer skip before guess lock. Flow, set answering contestant, input numeric guess 0 to 100, opponent selects higher or lower, reveal correct answer, assign card control. Card ladder mechanics, each contestant has an independent ladder. Standard round 7 cards, sudden death 5, first card face up the base card. Card run rules, controller may swap base card only if control gained via survey question, win, control gained via ice card, turnover. Swap not allowed if control gained via opponent wrong call. Controller calls higher or lower, reveal next card. Correct, advanced ladder. Revealed card becomes new base card. Wrong, turn ends immediately, return to survey phase, and sudden death, immediate match loss. Freeze rule, standard rounds, freeze allowed anytime, locks progress and ends the turn. Sudden death, freeze disabled completely. In the ice card mechanic, each deck contains 52 standard cards, 1 ice card. If revealed, current run ends immediately, control passes instantly to the opponent. Opponent gets base card swap eligibility, no survey question required. Applies in all rounds including sudden death. Same rank rule, lucky match. If revealed card equals base card rank, player advances 1 ladder position, retains control. Applies in all rounds. Win conditions, standard round. First player to clear 7 cards wins the round. Sudden death, first player to clear 5 cards wins the match immediately. Wrong call, immediate match loss. State management, server-side state persistence required. Refresh must not reset the match. Include reset round button, reset match button. Display requirements, board must show 2 horizontal ladders, base cards clearly visible. Question panel, bottom area, numeric guess, display, higher or lower indicator, control indicator, and round score. Include visible status banners. Control, ice card, lucky match, freeze, wrong call. RNG, use pseudo-random shuffle for MVP. UI style, clean, broadcast-friendly UI, large readable typography, neutral background preferred, designed for 1080p screen share clarity. But all that we're going to obviously change afterwards. I will attach in your image as well, just for the kind of layout clarification.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we have that downloaded, just going to copy that prompt. And then we are going to move over, finally, to Replit.
All right. And of course, everybody
So,
that is watching, what we have been using here is a Chat GPT to dial all this in. And this is Replit here now, Adam, is that right?
correct. So this is your Replit main dashboard. So once you come in, you have your account set up. This is what you'll see. And it'll basically describe your idea for integration. And then you want to build or you want to plan something out. So it actually has the build and the plan mode here as well, if you want to trash something out a little bit more. I haven't, that's actually a new feature, and I haven't used plan mode at the beginning of a project yet. So maybe we could look at it.
Yeah, let's have a look at it.
With our prompt and attach our stuff so we can get any clarifications. Because sometimes it's definitely a good idea to clarify stuff with Replit before we put it to work. So it's actually a nice feature to add in.
Do you find sometimes that, you know, I probably, a lot of the time, there's probably maybe some slight conflicts when you bring that prompt on over to Replit. There's some things that it needs to dial in. Would you say that the prompt that you bring over is just not extensive enough for Replit, so it needs to clarify extra things?
Well, it depends on how far you go really with ChatGPT, but what Replit will do here, I would assume in this instance, once we start planning, is set out the framework, you know, the script that we're going to use, what's going to work best where, animation stuff. It's going to kind of get more technical with your idea, you know?
Yes.
So,
quick shout out to the chat here, by the way, Mr. Bitzel in the house and Mustafa. Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate you guys getting those numbers up there. We want to be up at the top near that featured section on the homepage of PumpFun so we can gather more people in here. I think it was Mr. Bitzer was dropping in the bear and bull suggestion. I kind of like that idea. Instead of higher or lower, you go bearish or bullish. That might be kind of fun. I just been thinking about how you could possibly integrate something like that. I think that was you, Mr. Bitzel. Correct me if I'm wrong, if I saw that in the chat.
Yeah, right? I think it was Mr. Bitzel,
yeah. But yeah, please, guys, go back into our Telegram chats too, and please encourage people to come on over here. Get bullish in that chat, in all of our chats, in the shareholders group, in the trench group, in the main Telegram chat as well. Get them hyped in there, and tell them to come on over. Tell them to come on, join us. I say it, Adam says it, Sean says it, but we need some of you guys, the community members as well, to get them hyped and pumped in that chat to come on over. So please, if you don't mind taking a second, drop a message in there, encourage people to come on over. And like I said, I know it's the weekend. It can be a little tricky for some people. But yeah, Mr. Bitzel, I thought that was a fun idea too. I do like that because, you know, we didn't want to go the moon or dust route again. We can't beat that to death. But I did like the kind of bear bull idea. So that's something that kind of lodged in there. And maybe we'll look at exactly how we could maybe implement something like that as we kind of move along here. And as well, anybody, I will be diving into some graphical work too. Once Adam is kind of checking out here after the hour, he's got some stuff he needs to do. So I'll jump in and do some graphics with everybody, and yeah, keep cranking it out. Oh, I did not know that. So PumpFun has a little pop-out window. So if I scroll down past the view, it popped out on my screen. I did not know that. Okay, interesting.
What's that? Say that again.
PumpFun has a little pop-out window that you can view. So.
Yes.
I did not know that. So that's pretty cool. That's a good setup.
Oh,
just
yeah,
trying to make sure.
Down there.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty cool. What you really want is a pop-out chat, like YouTube have as well. Pop-out chat's always good, I think. All right, Adam. So we got the image there.
Yes. So what I've added in here now is this is the actual game design document right here. I uploaded that. I added in the image that we created in the last stream for just to give it a kind of a layout of how we want the game board to look.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the prompt from ChatGPT that I just pasted in here. But obviously when it exceeds a certain amount of characters, it just looks like an attachment. right?
Right.
So I changed this to plan mode here, and I said C prompt, GDD, and game board layout design attached. Please examine these thoroughly and ask questions for any clarification needed. So I'm in plan mode. So it's going to go through these now, and it's going to come back and hopefully start asking me a load of questions. So
Yeah. Can you zoom in a little bit on your screen there, Adam, so the people that are watching can see that a little closer. There we go. All right, cool. That's good.
how's that?
Yeah, that looks good. That looks
All
good.
right. Okay. So let's just go nice and basic, because obviously the game design document is pretty extensive. We've got a rough idea of the UI layout that we want for the game itself. The backend dashboard for the producer doesn't matter too much how it all looks, as long as it functions correctly, but we will make it nice for Mr. P when he is working on it and make it
Yeah.
user friendly.
Dress that up.
This is the prompt here that we got from ChatGPT earlier. I'm just adding a little bit to the prompt here because we're in plan mode, and I wanted to go through all this documentation thoroughly first, and then let's get a Replit plan down to actually, integrate all this cleanly. So let's hit start.
All right, this is the first time using plan mode here on Replit, is that right?
For the initial design, yes. I think it has only been added recently.
Cool. That's a great thing about Replit too.
So it's always down here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's a great thing about Replit too, is they're constantly upgrading and building new stuff. Everybody, in case you're not familiar, it's a coding software that you can use. It's called Replit, replit.com, and they've added. So I guess the big features, Adam, is obviously plan mode, so it doesn't go in and start like building everything. You go back and forth with this as well, like we just did with ChatGPT, and iron out any specific details. Okay, go ahead, Adam.
I actually just did it there now, and it went straight in over here building stuff, unless it's I don't know here, it's actually going through the documents, even though this is in build. I'm going to change that to plan for right now, so it actually can't build with the guardrails on it. But I did have it in plan mode initially there, but then it went into this mode here, and it was under build. So no, I let it go. I moved it to plan mode here.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so here it is now.
I'll drop this down here again so people can see this. Hold on. Let me move myself over here. Where's the best place? Let me edit this here real quick. I'm going to move myself over here. Save. Get layout. Okay, there we are. So you can see that side screen over there. Make it a little easier. So you can go and check this out, everybody, replit.com. And of course, there's plan mode now, which is just added. And then, of course, you have the agents that actually execute all the individual smaller tasks. But then you also have the architect that takes in the entire project as a whole and kind of commands and make sure that the agents don't go rogue and things like that, which is, very important. Because when we built Moon or Dust originally, remember, Adam, there was no architect, so for a lot of the time Adam had to go back and say, don't do this, execute this. So they would do a small task and only focus on the micro, let's say, and they wouldn't think about the overall thing, and they can end up changing or breaking something else like that. So the architect kind of keeps all that in check within Replit now as well. So really cool software. This is for sure.
Yes, exactly. So I actually switched it to plan mode in the middle. It was in build mode, and I switched to plan just in case it went off to start building something. So it actually stopped here. So I'll continue out here now. So it says, I've carefully reviewed all three documents: game design document, the layout image, and the detailed prompt. I have a solid understanding of the game mechanics, card ladders, survey questions, freeze ice card, lucky match, sudden death, etc. What needs to be built. Before I start building, I have a few clarifying questions. I think it stopped in because I changed it. So I'll say, okay. Let's hear the clarifying questions.
You got a typo there too.
And we'll keep it in plan mode so that will keep the guardrails on.
DB, okay, I'm all in. All right, my guy. Thank you. I'm not sure I can.
Let's go, DB.
I know that was. I can't remember who that was. I think they popped up in the chat yesterday too. But sorry, forgive me. All the different letters and stuff starting with the names is hard to kind of remember, and everyone's Pepe. So All right, for anybody who's tuning in, of course, we're moonerdust.media. Everybody go and check out that website there. And this is episode 4 of the PumpFun Hackathon Mod Media live build, where we are creating a game show, live game show that our partner in crime, DeFi Sean, is most likely going to host. I'll produce, and Adam's going to do all the coding, and I'll do a lot of the graphics work and stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. If you're only getting used to what we're kind of doing here now, like I said, you can go to the website or you can check out the actual game show. About 26 episodes in so far with Moon or Dust Game Show, so you can check that out. The latest edition is down there in the previous streams here on PumpFun, or if you're watching on YouTube or somewhere after the fact, you can see all of those will be down there too in the game show tab. So you can check that out and get an idea of exactly the level and the standard that we're going to build something like this. All right, Adam, what we got?
Yes. Okay, so let's come back here. My clarifying questions. I want to make sure I nail the design and functionality before diving in. Yes, that sounds a good idea. 1. Board layout scope. The layout image shows the full StreamYard view with camera feeds, circular avatars on the left and the game board on the right. Since cameras are handled by StreamYard, should the game board / board route show just the 2 card ladders plus question panel, the right side only, or should it also include contestant host names, labels alongside the card rows so the board is self-contained and identifies each player? I'm saying yes, circular avatars are handled in StreamYard. The gamer show the card letters.
We just need to get it to allow the space for those, basically, when it's designing the UI, right?
Yeah.
All right, how many viewers we got here? We got 10 viewers right now. I think that's a correct readout. Anybody that's watching, hey, head on back over to our Telegram chat there and start rallying the troops. Get them on back over here. Staff and Mr. Bitzel, Super Seb, DB, get in there and say, hey, guys, what you doing? I don't care. It's the weekend. Get on over. We're winning this thing.
Exactly. So then it's asking if we want to have any of the names in there. Now I know StreamYard does have names underneath. So
yeah, we don't need any of that.
I don't think we really need any names. So
no. No names required. So obviously anybody that's watching, we're going to create the game board basically. Standard 1080, 1920. And then we will basically overlay, like you can see these different, like, you know, we can move this circle over the top of the board, our cameras, we can move them to different locations like this. So this is basically what we'll do in StreamYard after the fact, but we need to take that into account and position everybody first. But we don't actually need Replit to, you know, really think about that too much. Just make sure that it's following along and that it doesn't try to, you know, integrate any camera or anything into the actual build. There's no need to do that, as we'll be live streaming it in real time. And this will just fall into the, you know, the production part of it, basically, where you're managing the actual game itself moving forward, and then you're also managing the cameras here, sound effects, banners, then through StreamYard itself. So you'd have, you know, the production window open, and then you'd have the StreamYard set up as well, where you're doing all that. So at the same time, live in real time. And again, you can check out the latest one. You'll see all that functioning in real time too, just to get an idea. And we will show you too the StreamYard setup, so that you can get an idea how to do that as well once we get to the end and we're pushing closer to the actual live testing and things like that. All right, Adam, let's keep it neutral for now. We'll provide all background images and skins color palette later. Perfect.
Yes, that was the number 2, broadcast background. For the broadcast display, do you prefer dark background, light, neutral, no preference? So just saying we'll provide all that later. Don't worry about it, just keep it neutral. And then contestant names. Should contestant names be configurable by the producer through the control panel, or are fixed labels like player 1, player 2 sufficient? Depends where we want to show them. So are we going to show their names on screen, or are we going to just leave that with StreamYard?
I kind of like the idea. Maybe we could pop their names somewhere like above their ladder, or some way that it's attached to their ladder or something like that, you know?
Okay,
what do you
we
think?
can do it. Let's see what the AI comes up with. And then we can take it from there. Let's just go with above their ladder, right?
Yep.
So So that will change our number 1. Appear above the corresponding letter.
Yeah, and just have it if there's no name entered, it would be player 1, player 2.
So I'll just say default. Player 1/2. Okay. Okay, and then number 3, this ties into the same one. It doesn't be configurable. We'll say yes. We want them configurable. All right, so let me know your preference and I'll put together the build plan. All right, so there's the clarifying questions. Let's hit go.
All right, sweet. All right, let's see what this plan is all about.
Is the PumpFun stream working all right for everyone? I just see it spinning here for me, but that could be.
It has its moments. The live chat just kind of disappeared for me. I'm going to do a refresh here. I don't want to miss anybody's comments, but sometimes it can be a little glitchy. Yeah, I'm not seeing any chat now. Stream seems to be playing, but the chat doesn't appear for me anymore. I wonder, does it have a history? I mean, sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. Well, we will continue on. All right.
Yeah, the chat's showing for me. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so got it. Here's my plan. Architecture overview. /board. Clean broadcast display. 2 horizontal card letters with player names above each, plus a question game data panel at the bottom. Neutral background, large readable typography designed for 1080p screen share. Then the control, which is the producer controls panel at the back, linked directly, obviously, to the game panel, with full game flow control, manage rounds, deal cards, input survey questions, answers, trigger higher lower calls, freeze, swap, reset, etc. Server-side game state in memory, no database needed. This is a live session game, not persistent user data. WebSocket keeps /board and control in sync in real time. Roughly 50 survey questions loaded from a JSON file with no repeats within the match. Key game logic server. So I'll just make sure that they're going to use ChatGPT for that. So we will have to provide them with an OpenAI API key for this. I'll mention that here now in a minute. Key game logic server side, best of 3 match with 7 cards standard rounds and 5 cards sudden death. Card decks 52 plus 1 ice card, pseudo random shuffle per contestant per round. Survey question flow, higher low, calls, freeze mechanic, ice card, lucky match, swap eligibility, win conditions, and round match state tracking. Okay. Okay, so sounds good. We will use ChatGPT for question generation. So let me know when you need my OpenAI API key. Okay. Now, one thing that I haven't done before, and I wouldn't mind testing it out, would be to have the agent put its proposal to the architect and recommend a clean original implementation build. So let's try that out. For review and decide on a clean.
Good to know. So for the MVP, I'll start with the local JSON file containing 50 pre-written survey questions. Yeah, we're going to use GPT for this. Integrate GPT for dynamic question generation as follow-up feature once the core game is working.
Okay, So now put your build proposal to the architect for review and decide on a clean, lean, and robust implementation plan before you begin the initial build. I don't know if the architect's going to be available before you've actually built something, but let's see.
All right. First time testing out the plan mode here as well, so it should be interesting. Obviously, it's most likely going to be a good feature. I'm sure, knowing Replit and what they do, what they build. It's all right, Replit. We're open for sponsorship. Anybody that's watching, that's what we're using. Initially, we used Chat GPT, of course, to create the overall master prompt, and that's what we're doing right now. Is we're feeding it into Replit. You can go and check it out for yourself. It's called Replit.com. That's the software that we're using right now.
Okay, so yeah, you can see there it did put a task to the architect. Task, review and refine the implementation plan for card ladder. It's called a card ladder. Focusing on architecture, game mechanics, state management, and defining key interfaces and file structures. So yes, it's good to have the architect design this stuff out before the agent. The agent can be a bit messy by itself. So result adaptive lean in-memory game engine socket.
I was just going to say, so basically, during plan mode, just so I can understand, it kind of utilizes the architect first to get the plan down before getting to the build. Is that right?
No, the agent. So the agent is the one that you talk with the most. Yeah, I've been chatting with the agent now here since the start. So you can see their agent is waiting for input. So it's the agent you do most of the dealing with. But I always like to call in the architect to get into specifics and actually lay stuff out for the agent, rather than the agent just building it itself.
Right.
Okay, so adapted lean in-memory game engine WebSocket for real-time updates, functional game engine module wrapped by a game service singleton. WebSocket handles actions and broadcast state snapshots, minimal rest for hydration. Here's the refined architecture plan from the review. Core architecture design, pure functional game engine server / game engine.ts, all game rules and deterministic functions, deal, reveal, freeze, swap, etc. easy to reason about and nest, no side effects. Game service singleton wraps the engine, holds current state in memory, exposes command handlers and broadcast state snapshots via WebSocket after every action. WebSocket first communication, the / control panel sends action commands via WebSocket. These are the types that we're going to use, and the server broadcasts full game snapshot back to all connected clients, board, and controls. Keeps everything in sync with a single paradigm. Single REST endpoint, just get API state for initial hydration. When a page loads or reconnects, everything else flows through WebSocket. Minimal flat state shape, match meta, round index, wins arrays, phase, enum, high card survey, card run, round over, match over. So they're the functions that it's going to put together for it. So it's basically the architect now has laid out the entire framework. So this is actually really good for an initial build, because if you just let the agent tear into that, your file structure, your architecture could be a bit messy, and then you're going to have a lot more work with the architect when you start auditing things like that. So it's actually really good that we can go into plan mode before we actually put the agent to work on the initial build at all. So this is awesome.
Very nice.
So it's as you can see, it's laid out all the file structure here. This is all your TSX files, everything that's needed there, how it's going to lay it all out. So here, that's basically it. So
nice. I want to apologize to anybody if you're typing in the chat. No matter how many times I refresh here, it just does not show anything happening in the chat. So if you are typing, I'm sorry, I cannot see it. Not sure if you can see it, Adam, or not. There we go. I can see it now, but I can't see any old messages. I guess it doesn't have any history or something. Doesn't show any old messages.
Not sure. It's a bit glitchy.
Well, at least I can see. Yeah, it is a little bit. But yeah, I can see that one anyway. So that's good in case anybody does type. I don't want to miss anybody if they're giving us feedback in there. Of course, all feedback is welcome. Everybody, if you are in there in the chat, let us know your thoughts and everything here, and let me know as well. If anybody that is watching is into this stuff and they've experimented with some of this before, let me know what what softwares you guys use and you know, maybe you got your own kind of methods that you do this, but obviously this is our raw method, how we do it, starting off with, of course, Chat GPT initially to build out this master prompt. Now we have moved on over to Replit, about 5.5, 6 hours. We kind of went back and forth with GPT over the last few episodes to kind of lock in and put in the groundwork to get the strong foundation. Now we've moved on over here to Replit. We've dropped in that initial prompt along with the UI design that we created yesterday. And one or two little additions to the prompt. And Adam's going back and forth here now in plan mode on Replit to lock in the structure here before we get down to the build, the first build.
Yes, so now let's implement the architect's exact design. Any deviation requires consent. It will need to be presented here for review. Any other clarifying questions? Let's say before we begin. Usually the agent will make out a task list now at this point and say, if you're ready to build, we go build. So let's see.
Okay, let's see, Replit, what you got. No further questions. The architect's plan is clear, and I have all the information I need. Let me start building. All right, exciting.
Raring to go. So what we'll do now is we'll switch to build mode. Okay. Let's implement lean, clean, and robust. Exactly as the architect has laid out. No deviation without consent. Just to kind of keep the guardrails on it. So sometimes that's pretty important to get in there, even if you have trashed it out with the architect and you're telling it to stick strictly to what the architect has laid out, it can still kind of go rogue. So it kind of puts an extra guardrail on it when you do this. Maybe it doesn't matter too much here now at this initial phase, but when you get down to the nitty gritty and you're kind of figure out bugs and stuff like that, you know, 95% of the project is working well and you're trying to fix one little thing, it's very important to get these guardrails on. Okay,
Absolutely.
So we're now in build mode. Okay, let's implement lean, clean, and robust exactly as the architect has laid out. No deviation without consent. So here we go.
All right, and how long does a build like this usually take, Adam?
It might not take too much. Now here's one of the actual agent tools as well, just while it's working there. So fast, you can make lightweight changes quickly. So obviously you're on AI credits here. So it's the amount of time that it spends working is kind of how you get charged, and I'll show you that in a minute. So if you're just doing small stuff, if you're doing a website and you're changing some images and a few things like that, it's easy. Doesn't have to think too much. But then in the autonomous level, low, medium, high, and max. Now obviously there's different levels of AI intelligence involved in these. Now I've used low and medium before. Low is, you know, like you're dealing with a complete idiot. It'll always break stuff. I don't even know why it's there, to be honest. Medium, middle of the road. High is what I would kind of recommend. Max has just been in beta for the longest time, but that's really if you're really trying to debug something, or let's say if you're going auditing your code at the end, it's good to put that on, because obviously these agents and architects are just designed solely for coding. They're not like your general GPT model like ChatGPT. It's totally code focused and application focused. So these are the options you have, and obviously the higher it is, the more expensive the credits are to use it.
Right.
So you can see it working through here now. Starting implementation now. Let me build all the foundational pieces in parallel. Good. Now let me build everything in parallel, starting with the shared schema, questions, JSON, and all front-end files. Now let me build all the front-end components in parallel. First the shared hook and components.
All right. Very nice.
Done.
Okay. Okay, so maybe while that's building, we might come over and have a look at one or two things that I've been looking at here as well. Let me pull something up here too real quick. Let me pull up ChatGPT here as well. This is where I've been what I've been using to gather up my prompts Let me see. Catch us deep dive. Meme token deck. There it is. Okay. So I am going to share my screen here. Let me see.
Yeah, going to jump into that there while the build is ongoing. So it's just
Mhm.
working away on that here now. And as soon as it finishes building, I won't go any further. So you can jump into some stuff there.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I was looking at building out just the base cards as well here first. So I said, okay, in this chat, we are going to create a deck of cards, but it's going to be meme token related. So what will we do? So what we will do is we'll just trash it out and we will generate prompts that we can use in order to create the exact kind of cards that we want. We'll be creating the number 2 card all the way up to the ace of each suit. So my thoughts is we use a different meme character maybe for each suit instead of, diamonds and spades. So as I went through this, I kind of thought against that. But what I did think that we should do is for the jack, hold on just one sec. So for the jack, the king, the queen, the king, the ace, and the joker card, I guess we're kind of calling it the ice card at the moment. We could use some meme characters, so we can use AI to create those. Now, they did give me some ideas. Most recognizable memes: Doge, Shib, Pepe, Bonk, Floki, Dog with Hat, Baby Doge, Milady, Book of Meme, and Popcat. But I didn't want to saturate too much with dogs or anything like that. But I eventually did come to, as I was talking through this with GPT, I eventually kind of narrowed it down to the ace was Doge, the king was Giga Chad, the queen was Dog with Hat because he got the pink hat on. Then you have the jack was Punky, and then the joker, the ice card, I was thinking we could use Pepe. Now please give me your feedback, anybody that is watching in the chat there, and let me know what you guys think. So I just got the initial dimensions, card dimensions. Obviously it's not print that we need, so I got the exact dimensions here of what we want. It's a 5:7 ratio for these cards. Just gives me an idea of the layout here. So I went back and forth with canvas setup 1080 1512. There it is. Just gives you the boundaries and the margins and all that stuff. So I kept on going down here, and then I said, let's get a prompt for the icons: heart, spade, club, and diamond. Start with hearts. We'll put this on a white background. Let's create a common theme across the entire deck. Let's spitball some ideas. So I came back with some ideas, and the initial one it was suggesting was a kind of cartoon style, and I did look at that, and I'll show you one of those in a moment, but it wasn't really working, and I opted for something a little more kind of on the mature side, a little more on the clean side. So that's kind of what I mean. I just kept on going back and forth with it, really, just to get some ideas. And then I eventually, okay, let's run the cartoon style. Now give me a prompt for diamonds. Now I'll show you what that prompt resulted in. And this was one of them that it came out, and I know it just wasn't doing it for me. It was too basic, and I wanted more of a casino vibe, a little more mature. So then it's just not really feeling the cartoon style. Let's make it more mature and detailed. So that's what I did. I got one or two here. So I'm going to show you some of the results I got here now also in open art. Let me pull it up here. I'm not sure. Yeah, you guys can't see that. Let me just change my screen up here real quick. Stop screen. And I will add, here it is, Sea Dream. Okay, so these were the initial ones that it ran. You can see here. Let me add this to the stage. Yeah, so these were the initial ones that it ran here, these kind of cartoony ones, and they weren't really good, but I really did like this diamond one right here. You can see, I'm going to click it. Yeah, and there it is. So that was one of the diamonds that I got. So I said, yeah, let's go and try and work with that. So this was the heart I got initially, but I wasn't really feeling that gold trim around it. It started giving it that, so then it eventually gave me that. I wanted to give it a little bit of depth as well. So this is the heart that I got, and I've already messed around with the diamond, but we can go and have a look at the heart one now. So I'm going to copy this image, and I'm going to stop my screen share here, and I'm going to start screen sharing Photoshop right now. So everybody can check that out. Let me make sure that I am, yeah, everybody can see that nicely. Okay, sweet. So the idea here is I got my heart shape copied. So as you can see, we have our basic layout for the card, how it's going to look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop on over here to my shape tool. I'm going to click rectangular tool, and I'm going to create just a straight rectangle right here. It'll probably have a black color, I believe. Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to just stretch that to the extremities here, top, bottom, left, and right. And then I'm going to go over here to this side and give it a rounded edge. So we're going to give it maybe, let's see what 60 looks like. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. Everybody, you can see that rounded edge up there in the top corner. You can see it right there. So that's giving it a 60 round right there. And then let's change that color to white. So it's black right now, and we change that to white. There it is, and you can still see the background there just at the corner, so you know that's a full thing. So we'll export this as a PNG, and it will maintain that shape. So the next thing we want to do is we want to get our heart in there. So let's paste that in, and we'll scale it down here a little bit so everybody can see. Now you can see that little background that it has there. So in Photoshop now, obviously there's AI is available, so I can just click remove background down here at the bottom, and there it goes, gone, just like that, nice and easy. So I think the best thing that we want to do first is we want to start with the number 10, so we can get a good idea of how big each heart needs to be, because that's the maximum amount of hearts that will appear on a card at any time. So we can take this. What I'll do is I'll keep one larger one for just in case I need to pull from it again or something goes too small, so it keeps its resolution. So I'll hide that one and I'll work with this one for now. And what we'll do is I'll double that up because we have the ones at the top, left, and right as well. So this is going to be a smaller heart up here, as everybody knows. And then we'll go to our text tool and we will type in the number 10. There it is, of course, coming up in white, but we can go and we'll select this color here. And we want to change that to something more classical. So let's go with the Adobe Carlson here. I think, yeah, that's a little more card style right there. Okay, so there you can see 10 of hearts right there. So what we'll do is we'll pop that into a, there it is, into its own folder. And let's call that 10. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that and make that copy. And then I'm going to select it, bring it over here, and we're going to edit, and we're going to transform. We're going to rotate. There we go, 180, so that this guy will go down here on this corner, just like most decks of cards you would be familiar with. Now sizing can be adjusted here after the fact, so that's why it's good to keep all your layers solid. And of course, as far as I'm aware, we're going to need to make this heart certainly smaller. And at that size, I'm going to transfer it into a smart object. So I'm going to convert to a smart object so it keeps its resolution in case we do need to downsize it or make it even bigger at times. So this should be 4 hearts across, and we'll keep that distance the same from all of them. It should automatically lock it in for us there. There it is. So that's 4. That's the first 4. And we will pop those into a little folder as well on my right, just so that it's looking good. Are we looking at size there? Maybe something like that, perhaps. Okay, so then we're going to duplicate that folder. I'm going to take that. I'm going to move it across the way here as well, just to line it up. And then what we'll do is we'll select both of them, and we'll make sure that they're centered. So there we go. That's centered. Once we see that line pop up there, where are you? Oh, no, escape. Sometimes it goes a little funky. There it is. That little pink line that pops up, so that means they are perfectly centered. Now we want to move it up and down and get it centered there too. There it is. All right. Now, how are we looking at those hearts? How do we feel about the size of those? I think they might be a little bit big. So let's scale them down a touch. And we'll take this one, move it over a little bit, because we got to get more hearts in there. And let's take this guy here as well. And let's move him over too, so that he's kind of lining up with the top and the bottom. Okay. And now we're going to take 1 heart here. Let's add another one. And then we pop another one in here, I believe. Okay, and that gives us our 10, and that's our 10 of hearts. Okay, how are we feeling about the sizes there? Adam, how are you feeling about them sizes? Anybody in the chat? I haven't had a minute to look here. Let me see if anybody is saying anything. Okay, I'm not saying anything right now. Okay, just in case I did miss it. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Not sure what's going on with my camera, but StreamYard has been a bit funky.
Oh, yeah, that happens.
I might have to disconnect and come back in to StreamYard.
Okay, no worries. How's that prompt doing right now?
Yeah, it's done a build, so we're going to whenever you're done there, we'll take a look.
Okay, no worries. Give me a minute here, and we'll finalize this one. So I'm just going to put all of these back into a folder now as well, so that they're all there together. I can turn them on and off. And what I'm also going to do is put all the hearts together in one folder too. So that's easy to manage, and you can see the different folders there. So I can select those individually and make sure they're all centered. There we go. That's centered, top and bottom. There we go. Yeah, I think that's looking good. Okay, now the 10 here, I think we need a similar distance for this guy. So let's see where this guy is at. Let's center him up on that corner right there. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. And now let's get the other 10 and let's move it up to the top here and make sure it's fitting in similar. Yeah, I think that doesn't look too bad there. And we can adjust these after the fact as well. Okay. All right, so that looks pretty good for the 10. And obviously, you know, it's just rinse and repeat here as we continue on and create all the rest of the deck. Now we'll move on to the color cards at some point here, and we'll implement our meme guys. And if you want to see, so I'm going to put this as 10 of hearts. And there it is. That's just a spare heart right there. And I'm going to add in the base into that group as well. Just make sure it goes in there. There it is. Okay, on, off. Okay, and also then I have the 10 of diamonds, which I already messed around with a little bit yesterday, so you can check that out there. There's a 10. So I look at both of these, and I might just whittle it down a little bit. You can see the difference there. Maybe these diamonds in the middle need to go a bit bigger, but we can uniform on that anyway and lay the cards over the top and make sure they're all positioned exactly the same. They're all the exact same size, so that they all look very, very uniform. So yeah, so that's a very easy way to do it. Obviously, like I said, just a quick recap. I went to ChatGPT initially and created the prompt basically for the icon itself. Explained it exactly what I wanted, messed around, and then I brought my prompt over here to, let me show you where that is. Share screen. There it is. So I brought it over to OpenArt. There it is. That's that's ChatGPT. Where's OpenArt? There it is. OpenArt.ai. And they've got tons of tools in here. And you can see there's the different ones. This is what came up for clubs. We'll do the same for spades. And we'll get them tied into this kind of this theme, this kind of slightly more mature theme, which we're going to do. So yeah, and that once it spit me out kind of what I wanted, I got that, I copied it, I brought it on over to Photoshop, and that is what you were looking at just there. So we can come back to Replit now that you've seen that, and of course once we get through those cards, what I'll do is I can work on you know, all the individual cards, just the base cards from 2 all the way up to 10, and then, you know, we'll come back for the next bit of the tutorial and we'll start looking at you know, the color cards and things like that. All right, Adam, so you are ready to do a little bit more work here. I'm going to drop myself down so people can see what you're looking at there.
Yep.
All right, go for it.
Okay, so it basically did a build, and then it just sets up its own little browser here on the side, and it kind of goes over itself and tests it, and then it went back to the architect just to review its implementation. So you can see here, started. This is it working here, just kind of laying out what it's doing as it's going through it. Task 1, for example, task 1 front end is done. Now let me move to task 2, the back end. Let me build the game engine and game service. So then it works on all that stuff there. Let me add the resolve JSON module to TS config flow, importing to JSON question file and start the workflow. So it just kind of, it walks through it, and it's always good to read it as it's doing it, because reading all of the steps that it's going through, building it out, gets you familiar with the file structure, all the different files that it's going to be using, and you when you get to points then at the end, when you're doing that last 10%, you'll have a good overall knowledge of exactly how it's all structured out, and you can kind of debug yourself logically if the AI is struggling to find something, or you can, but you have to understand that framework, and this is a good way to get that down as it's building stuff and as it's doing it. And you can see that over here. If you click up here, you can see now this is all the files that it has currently built out for the build. The first, that's your Git file there, and then these are your assets that it's put in. That's obviously going to fill up a lot as Mr. P starts giving me stuff to do. This is your client folder here. That's your build folder. And then this is your game engine file here, routes, static storage. This is your shared folder here, and then this is stuff that doesn't get pushed to Git here. And then you've got your JSON files here, which is just your components and stuff like that. But we'll take a look at those later. So,
yes, sir. And shout out to Drakoshi SFC in the chat. Thank you for jumping in, brother. Appreciate you. Everybody else that's watching. You were watching the PumpFun Hackathon Mod Media live build. We're building a live game show that we will be testing out with the community. We'll be building in front of the community. And we have built a game show before. You can check it out below in the previous streams. Space Cat from Coffee Coin came up and played last Wednesday, so you can see the level and the standard that we're going to be building this to, and what the potential live show is going to look like. And of course, this game show is actually going to be 2 players head to head. So I'm really excited for this one. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see here now back in Replit. Let me run end-to-end test. So it had it all built. It restarted the application. Let me run an end-to-end test to verify the full game flow. It carried out its own test. The end-to-end test passed successfully. The full game flow works. I can guarantee you it doesn't. Board and control panel are syncing via WebSocket. All phases transitions correctly. Cards, deal, and reveal survey question flow works, and the board reflects the game state. Now let me update the Replit.md and call the architect for a full review. So it calls in the architect to do a review. Sometimes the architect finds something that it doesn't like, and it'll get it to correct it. Good, the Replit.md is already comprehensive. Calling the architect. The architect reviewed and passed the implementation. Let me address the minor items flag. So it did flag something, specifically checking edge cases in the game engine. Let me look at a couple of edge cases. I see one edge case to handle what happens when high cards tie same value. Let me check and fix. Tie handling V0 less than or equal or greater than or equal to V1 defaults to player 1, which is fine. The game design document says highest card answers first and ties need a resolution. Gives it to player 1, which is reasonable. Now let me also verify the wrong call during card run in standard round. Flow after a wrong call, the producer needs to go back to the survey phase. Let me check the control page handled this correctly. The implementation is solid. Let me know mark all tasks complete and finalize. The MVP is fully implemented and tested. Here's a summary of what's been built exactly, matching the architect's plan. So it just goes through the file structures there of what was put in. All game mechanics implemented, best of 3, 7 card standard, 5 card sudden death, high card draw, survey question flow, card run higher lower. Free standard rounds only, ice card, lucky match, swap base card, sudden death with play force choice, wrong call is match loss, real-time sync between board and control via WebSocket. The end-to-end test confirmed the full game flow works correctly across both views. You can navigate to board for broadcast display and control for the producer panel. So, as you can see here, this is board. So if we type in /board here, it should keep us on the same page. There we go. So this is basically the board that it built. So let me just, by clicking this up on the right up here, it'll open just this preview window in a new tab. So let me just do that, and I'll share that tab instead. So this is the absolute masterful UI that Replit came up with. So, obviously, completely basic. It's not going to look anything like this at the end. Just zoom out a bit so you can see it all, because you can't have this scrollable. It's just got to fit into one window, so you don't want any scrolling going on here. And it needs to be relatively big so that everything's clearly visible. So that is the main game board that it came up with. So we go back to our Replit tab here. So we want to take a look. Obviously, there's two instances here for this. So you've got the board, which is the main game board that everyone's going to see, and then you've got the control, which is the producer control panel. So here we go. This is the producer control panel. Obviously, still very, very basic. I'll open it up in a new window there so we can see it clearly. So obviously super basic. Let's put in a name, Adam.
Mr. P.
Mr. P. Okay, so let's see what's set. That sets them. Okay, set.
So we're looking at a first little mini test here, is that right?
Correct. So now look, it's updated. If we go here to the game board, once I set them, it updated them over here. So what I'm assuming is once we start the game, they're not really in the right place. They're supposed to be above each one of the ladder. But let's see what happens. Round one, waiting to start the match. So let's see. We'll go back here to our producer controls. So obviously there's going to be a lot of stuff in here, the animations, sound effects, all that kind of stuff is going to get added in here, but this is our original build. So game flow, start match, reset round, reset match, ladders, Adam and Mr. P. So this is just some information here. So let's see what happens when we start match. Okay, this is after changing to high card draw. Adam and Mr. P are waiting. Okay, so let's see what it's showing out here on the game screen. And it's showing absolutely nothing. Okay. So, hold on, game flow here, right? So deal high cards. Sorry, share this tab. So once we set it and we started the game, so this is our main game controls here. So game flow, deal the high cards. So let's deal them. Okay, ladders after being set up. Let's see.
Yeah, I got the ace.
So Mr. P got the ace. So he gets to go first, should be the logic.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to load a question, and Mr. P should. Okay. Survey question is here. What tab? Yeah, I'm sharing it here. I don't think I showed that yet. Okay, so this is the survey question. You're looking from the control panel.
Mm-hmm.
Who answers? Yeah, so it's going to be Mr. P answers. Okay, Mr. P's guess. We'll make this a lot easier.
Yes.
Than what
so
this is.
My guess is
a lot of work for the producer.
What percentage of adults say they enjoy cooking at home? Go ahead, Adam. Sorry.
Okay, so the answer is 57%, right? So here, obviously, we're looking at the producer window, so nobody can see this. So let's look at what's going on out here in the game window. So it's up down here, round one, survey question. Does it have Mr. P highlighted anyway? It doesn't. So that's something that we'll want to add. Whoever's selected to answer the question gets highlighted in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this looks absolutely dirt for StreamYard implementation and stuff like that. So all this is going to be completely changed. But the main thing here is getting the game logic down, and then we can start moving on to aesthetics and how it's all looking and flowing. So let's see if the game itself is actually working here. So what percentage of adults say they enjoy cooking at home? Mr. P will answer. You can see here. So Mr. P, without knowing the answer, what do you reckon?
I would say, yeah, I mean, I do. But let's just put in 60%, right? So I say 60%.
60. Okay, so submit.
Where's that answer appearing right now? Oh, you're putting it in the background there, right?
I'm putting it in the producer dashboard. So when I put it in the producer dashboard, this is what happens. What percentage of adults say they enjoy cooking at home? Guess 60%. Guess 60%. Opponent calls higher or lower. So,
well, hold on, no, because that question isn't. We don't want a percentage, do we? We want it to say out of 100.
Yeah.
Is that the way we want to go?
Well, no, well, out of 100, yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll make that
And I know
adjustment.
percent means out of 100, but just, when it's the way it
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
be in the traditional show, it was, out of
Well, the
100 people
question,
surveyed, how many?
yeah, yes, out of 100 people surveyed, that should be the question. That's how we want to frame the question.
Mhm.
So we just get a number representing the amount of people.
Mhm.
So let's just continue on, but these are all just notes that we're going to take here as we go through it, as we go through the game logic. So Mr. P's guess was 60%. Okay, so obviously you're going to have your host in here talking and saying, okay, and just a bit of banter back and forth. And then they'll say, okay, Adam, do you think it's higher or lower than 60? So just so I can be right, if you look at the back end here, this is the producer now at this stage of the game. Survey question is up here. The answer already, of course, the producer knows. So then Adam now gets the call. So as soon as Adam makes a call, Sean, the host, will say, okay, is it higher or lower? And he'll say higher or lower. And then so let's say lower. So here it says the guess is lower, as you can see here. So Adam guessed lower.
We can't see that screen now.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so out on the game board, you can see once the producer clicked that Adam's guess was lower, it pops up here lower. So the guess Adam calls lower, and now in the producer dashboard, when we go back here again, the producer can now reveal the answer to the audience. So reveal answer. Let's see what happens here. Answer 57%. So that means Adam is in control up here. I guess lower. Right? So now Adam is in control. Game logic working pretty decent so far, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that is down to bringing the architect in at the start. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Hey, Dracoshi said, how did you get AI Adam to work so well, Mr. P? Lots of training, guys. Plenty training, plenty back and forth.
Yep. Slowly becoming a cyborg.
So will we run through a quick round here? So I'll pretend I'm you, and you can control the back-end producer dashboard, and we go higher or lower.
Okay.
Right.
Let's get someone in the chat here. Let's get someone in the chat acting as me. Dracoshi seems to be on there, so.
All right, Dracoshi,
Oh, no,
you got
don't,
a 5.
You can't see it. All right.
What's that?
Yeah, go ahead there. So you can pit off against Dracoshi here for this. Dracoshi's up for that.
All right, okay, SFC, you can play as Adam, and I'll play as myself.
Yes.
So you have a 5. So you see, I don't know, I'm not sure if there's a lag in the chat sometimes.
Yeah.
It kind of cuts in and out. So we might have to just, run kind of through it ourselves. Maybe. Cyborg Adam, I like it. Well, he's there. Let's see if he says, let's see if he drops in here and says, higher or lower, Dracoshi, higher or lower than 5? What do you got?
Yep. Higher or lower than a 5.
Can you swap? Yeah, it cuts in and out. Yeah, maybe we'll just go with this. Should you have the option to
drop into the Telegram chat just for this moment here, so we can get it.
Yeah. Shouldn't you have the option to swap now as well with your first card?
Yes. So let's see. It's saying start the card run. So let's see what happens. Oh yes. So now, as you can see here, on the back end, I started the card run, and it's card run Adam base card 5. I can swap it out, right?
Okay.
Higher, lower, or freeze.
He said high, but let's we've got
actually. You can swap if you want.
I'm assuming you want to swap that 5. You want to swap that 5 SFC? Let us know. You want to swap it out, or you want to run the 5?
How you like me?
Ain't that the truth?
Love
it. Okay, you want to swap it?
Right.
Okay, swap it. He said swap it.
Okay, let's swap it. Let me just pull this up here so I can see this.
All right, I'm rooting for you, SFC.
Yeah, and everybody can see.
Zoom in a little bit more there, Adam. It's so hidden there on the top. Yeah, there we go. Let's make it nice and big so everybody can see.
How's that looking? Okay.
Yeah, looks great.
Okay. So we're gonna swap it. Here we go. Swap. It's a
Ooh,
queen.
nice. All right, higher or lower? SFC. I mean, I'm not going to guess for you, but pretty sure what you're going to go with.
Yeah.
All right, SFC. This is
All right.
high stakes, sir. Higher or lower than a queen?
There's
What you got?
definitely a delay in the chat there.
Oh yeah, there absolutely is. When he's going higher, he's gone higher than the queen.
What? All
He
right.
said hi. I like him. Hold on, give
All
him a
right.
second. Give him a second in case he.
Maybe he's too high and not understanding the game.
Yeah. Hey, bro, you're too high. Come down. You gotta come down to earth. I'm pretty happy with the game mechanics so far. Got the swap in there,
Yep.
which is working pretty good. Shows that you're in
Yep.
control of the board.
Yep. It's actually working pretty well. It's pretty responsive as well.
He wants a king or an ace, lol. All right, go high. He wants high.
All right.
The man said hi.
Higher.
Oh, okay.
5. Boom.
All right.
All right.
So that means now it's another question time. Is that correct?
Yes. So next survey question is up.
All right. You just control in the background there now, so we don't see the answers and this and that. And we'll try to play it like a real game. Okay, Drakoshi, we're going head to head here. What percentage of adults trust online reviews when buying something? So does that mean I get to answer first now that he just had his go?
Yes.
Or how does, okay.
Yes, Mr. P is next now to answer.
I would say, let's say 65 out of 100. Let's go with that.
65.
Okay, SFC, you have to say if it's actually higher or lower than 65%. So let us know your answer there in the chat. Do you think it's higher or lower? What percentage of adults trust online reviews when buying something? Oh, okay, he's saying about 30, so he's going lower. Okay, let's see.
Go lower?
Yep. Reveal answer. 76% is actually higher. Wow, okay.
Mr. P wins control. All right.
All right, and I do not need to swap.
Start the card run.
Okay, I'm not going to swap that, so we're going to go straight for lower, obviously.
Okay.
On the ace.
Lower.
All right, a 4.
Let's
go. Yes, let's go higher than the 4.
Higher than the 4. Oh, man.
Okay, all right, back to question time.
Mr. P turn-ins going to next survey.
So he's asking where are we getting our facts from? Honestly, dude, I'm not surprised at that. Tons of people go and dive into reviews before they buy anything. My wife does it. My mother-in-law does it.
Just give me 1 minute here.
Yeah, no worries.
1 minute.
But yeah, so it basically comes. It pulls some information. It's more based on probability. SFC. So that's where it kind of pulls it from. Doesn't pull from actually any legit surveys. The same way the old show did. It was a more probability based on it. So, but yeah, I'm 76. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, women, dude, they go before they buy anything. If they're serious, they will dive into the comments all the time and look at the reviews to see. It's where you get the best information. Like, because you're talking about legit people that have bought it and given their feedback. No, that doesn't mean people can't bot reviews and, whatever that might be working for the same company. But, for the most part, you go to Amazon, you're looking at the stars, you're looking at the ratings. I go to the store and get it and get out. Yeah, well, all the people that shop online, yeah. I'm not surprised. We want to be there looking and chilling. Yeah, they're just browsing, window shopping, all that kind of thing. But dude, talk about being absolutely, done wrong with this tree. Like, no way. Okay, so the next question looks like SFC, where you're going to be given the answer to this one once Adam comes back. And the question is, what percentage of people say that they have a lucky number? Hate online shopping. Yeah, right. Yeah, I like to go to the old you're a brick and mortar guy. You're a brick and mortar guy. All right. My girl returns more shit than she keeps. Yeah, dude. Hey, you see Temu? The big data harvesting, quote unquote online store. Yeah, that's the same thing, dude. Like they'll return it. A lot of time they don't even ask you to return it on there. They'll just, they'll just give you they'll give you the refund and say, whatever, keep it. because you can buy them on there so cheap. But yeah, so let's get your answer, SFC. What percentage of people say they have a lucky number? What do you think? Out of 100 people, how many? 90%. Wow. Okay. That is that's bold. I want to say 99, but yeah, well, you're not giving me a lot of options then, are you? I'm definitely gonna go lower. Okay, so you're saying 90%, and then I'm gonna go lower. So when Adam comes back, we can initiate that. Of course, anybody that is tuning in, we are moonordust.media. And if you want to check out everything that we have going on over here, you can go to the website, moonordust.media. And of course, what you're watching now is episode 4 of the PumpFun Build in Public Hackathon that we have entered this competition. We're looking to nail one of those top 12 spots and get a partnership and some investment from PumpFun. Out of one of the 12 of 250K. Now that would be something. We could do a lot with that money. We could, it would be a dream. It would be a dream for us. It would just help us continue building everything we're doing. And of course, if you haven't seen before, we have actually built a live game show. We're about 26 episodes in already at this point. You can see all the previous episodes over there on YouTube, and you can see the latest one down here in the previous streams. Space Cat, representing Coffee Coin, came on, took on our AI whales. And if you go and watch that, and please do, just so you can get an idea of exactly the standard and the kind of style of game that we're going to build. Of course, that's a 1-player game, and it is, excuse me, and it is, it's a deal or no deal style game. The player comes in, they select a chosen wallet at the beginning, and then they select their whale that's going to be giving them the offers. Of course, these whales are created given characteristics. So 3 different whales. Of course, in Deal or No Deal, there's just like one banker. You don't ever get to hear him. The host just picks up the phone, talks to him, and relays what he said. That's as I remember it anyway. But what we did was we created 3 different AI whales. I'm sure you can recognize them. We got Magnus, who's a more conservative type. Then we got Dominic, who's like the whale of Wall Street kind of guy, very calculated, measured, a little cutthroat at times. Then we got Rico, the degen, who is just super erratic. He come in really high, really low. You never know what he's going to do. And of course, he has continued on. He's got Rico's Revenge, which is going to be launching on Ape Church very soon, as well. So keep an eye out for that. So he's continued on. He's made his own slots game where you launch shit coins, and your chart goes up and down depending on where you land. You would get a multiplier in there. So it's a really fun one. But yeah, so the Deal or No Deal style game, you would select your chosen wallet once you get the whale, and that is the wallet that the whale that you get is trying to buy from you for the whole game. So as you select other wallets on the board, 1 to 26, each time you select one, it gets eliminated, and you want to end up basically with the top wallet, the moon wallet. That's basically how it works. So yeah, that is that is the first game show that we made. So you can go, like I said, I'm going to check that down there in the previous streams, and also go and check out the website moonordust.media. So I'm not hearing anything back from Adam right now, so I'm let's jump on maybe to some graphical work again. So let me pull up my chat GPT here and let me share my screen. All right, where are we at? There it is. Okay. All right, now let me add that. I'll move myself down here. Let me hide that banner. Okay, I'm going to add this to the stage. Okay, so this is the this was the prompt that we had going. So Premium Casino Glass Club prompt. So this is the similar prompt to the ones that I have shown you. Actually, you know what? I'm going to share my window so I can jump between the 2 of these at the same time. Share screen, a window, and this is it here. Okay, perfect. So there is our prompt for the club, and I've already ran that over here. And as you can see here again, it seems to be getting that little gold trim that we want to remove. And I think it was due to having like a bevel edge on it. I think that's what was causing it. So I can copy my prompt here again and utilize it for the next one. We're in character mode here now. So let me move to create image. right here, and there it is. That's the club. So if I pop this prompt in here, and I want to get rid of this beveled edge because I noticed that I think that's what had been giving it the gold trim right there. So we'll go down here and we'll set it. We want a square image. We're using C Dream here. I think it was Nano Banana that I was using.
Can't see your screen there, Jay.
Pro. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, there we are. I'm sorry about that, everybody. Okay, so there is the. Do you want to jump back over, Adam, to the game? Are you back?
Yes.
Okay, we can cut this for now and we can jump back to the game. Okay, there it is. Let me move us back over here. Okay.
All right.
No, so SFC, he said 90% of people, or 90 out of 100 people, would have a lucky number, and I'm going to say lower. So we'll see who will gain control of the board.
So he's saying, what was the percent?
He's saying 90 out of 100 people.
90. Okay.
Yes.
His answer is locked in.
Locked in. I'm going to go lower.
Higher or lower? You're going to go lower.
55. Only 55 SFC. So I'm going to regain control and I am going to go higher. And do I have an option to change the card here too? I do or no?
Yes, you do. You do.
Well, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna keep it at the 3 and I'm gonna go higher.
Okay. Okay, it's actually starting. It's starting you back at the start.
Oh, okay.
See, it's on the ace.
There's our first little glitch. Are you sure? Go to
the
next.
Looks like it.
Okay.
If I see this, the yellow borders on the ace.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what happens when I go higher.
Flip the next card and see what happens.
Yeah, it's bugging out.
Okay.
It's bugging out right there. So it's not resetting the round.
It's not supposed to reset. It should start me at 3, right?
Well, you got wrong, so you go back to the start, which is correct, but it's not dealing your 2 new cards.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. So if you... is that right? I mean, shouldn't I come back and be able to finish them? So every single... The rounds will never end. I should be starting back at 3 because I've regained control of the board. It shouldn't be refreshing the round.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That's only in sudden death. Sorry, it ends it completely. So, yeah. Well, no, because that's what freezing is about. So, like, if you get it wrong, you got to go back to the start. That's why you go ahead and you freeze.
Okay.
So you can
I thought if you just got it wrong, you would lose control.
Okay.
Or, to go back to the question. Are we sure that's how it works? Draco calls BS. He said everyone has a lucky number. Yeah, but how many are willing to admit it? That's the question, though, right? How many are going to say, yeah, I got a lucky number? Some people don't believe in luck at all, dude. So, yeah, it's hard to know. But it's pulling in it from probability as well. So there's not actually a full, legit survey that gets done. And this is, as well, teeing off the way the original traditional game show was. And if you go to the second episode there, you search on YouTube for a game from the 1980s called Card Sharks, you will see the premise of the game and the initial concept that we're pulling from here in order to build this out. And we've trimmed it down a little bit. We've cut out the initial round, and we're probably going to cut out the last round. So it's going to be a straight head-to-head, 3 rounds, higher or lower, winner take all kind of thing. All right. So Adam, you are working on a little bit of code right there. It looks like I'm gonna drop this down for the moment. I'm gonna add my stage over here again, and let's put us both down here for now. So here we are with the prompt that I'm going to use for, and as you can see here, it's a similar prompt to these. So we're going to try and get this club right, and I'm going to try and remove that. Now, if it doesn't work this time around, I can always bring it into chat to edit and ask it to remove the gold trim. But I'm going to run it again here and see if it gives us, because I removed the bevel edge from the prompt. So I want to see if it removes that gold trim for us as well. And we want to keep it in line with the other ones. with that little kind of 3D protruding effect that it has. So yeah, we'll have a check out here and see what it gives us. And the next one, what we can do is the final one I need to do is the spades. So now I just say, now give me spades, spades. There we go. So we can have that generating the next prompt, and we'll see what we got. Off. Look at this. All right. So it, yeah, it does that sometimes. AI can do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this, and I'm going to click chat to edit. And what I will do is once it loads it up here, there it is. And I will tell the little agent that we have in here, remove the gold edge. Okay, and we will run that and give it a minute here, and it should remove that gold edge, or maybe I should call it trim or something like that, but we'll see. Let's see what it does, if it understands exactly what I'm saying. All right, here we go. Okay, and here we are for the next prompt for the spade. Refine playing card, spade suit icon with an elegant traditional spade shape, deep black enamel finish, subtle glossy reflections, beveled edges, realistic soft shading, premium casino aesthetic, centered composition on a clean white background, high detail but minimal noise, sharp professional playing card icon, crisp edges. Okay, let's see what we got. And there it is. Yes, as you can see, it has removed that edge. So now I can just copy this with a right click, and then I will bring that over into my Photoshop document, and I will start building out using that club. So next, let us use the prompt for the spade that we just read out, and we'll bring that on over here as well. We'll delete this prompt. I'm almost certain. I just want to make sure that it was Nano Banana that I was using. Yeah, it was Nano Banana for that one. Okay, cool. All right, so there we go. I'll leave the beveled edge in for now. Let's see what it does again. I can remove it after if I gotta. So yeah, so we'll run this prompt here now, and we'll get our next card icon, character, however you want to call it. And everybody that's joining us, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying the build so far. I hope you're learning something, of course, which is the most prominent thing that we want to happen here, is people to learn how to use these different softwares using AI and being able to get from concept to an MVP in no time. Okay, here's what we got. Here's we got our image. All right, not too bad, not too bad. It doesn't have that. It has that more of a beveled, an inner bevel. So let's see if let's run another one here and see if we can match it up with the other ones that we got here, like the heart where it's kind of protruding out, and the diamond down here, and then we got the club right here protruding out as well. So let's see if we can get the spade to kind of do the same. And if it doesn't do the same, I can always just copy the image, and I'll show you the process there. I can even show you with this one. If we don't get the same result as the other ones, that's what I'll do.
Okay, just an update here on my end as well. I went back to ChatGPT just to clarify, and yes, that is the case. If you lose control in a regular round, or if you get guess it incorrectly in a regular round, you just stay on the card that you're on, and it goes straight to a survey question. If you get it right, then you can go in and you can change that card or whatever you want to do.
Gotcha. So, just before we dive back into it, Adam, just give me one moment there. It's not giving me that.
I'm going to have to. Yeah.
I was just saying it's not giving me that protruding edge here, so I'm going to say I want it to be raised like the others, and I would say this has an emboss effect. All right, so let's see. It should come back with another prompt here for me. Okay, Adam, let's get back to what you got going on there, and let's move this over here.
Okay, yeah. So that was the issue that we were having. So I'm obviously here in the producer dashboard. Let me just pull that down, and I'll share. So this is our game board here. So the first kind of game logic or game flow bug that we've come across is that it should be holding Mr. P on number 3 after getting that
Adam,
wrong.
just
So we get,
before you continue there, real quick. I just gotta take a quick bathroom break. I'll be right back.
all
Just
right.
continue.
Okay. All right. So the first issue we came across here was that Mr. P moved on to, in the previous round, he got to number 4, and obviously he called higher. And the next card was a 3, so he was incorrect. So what should actually happen is he should, I believe, stick on card number 4. 3 is replaced with a new card, face down, and then there's a survey question. So when he starts back, he should be on number 4. He should not be back at the base card. And if he gets the survey question correct, which he did, he should have the option to either change that or take another guess at it. So what it actually did was it reset him back to the very start of the ladder again. So that's the first kind of bug that we trashed out, or that we found, we'll say, with the game logic. Up to this point, it's actually been pretty clean. So this is the first thing that we're going to have to fix. So I went over to ChatGPT just to confirm, per our design, to clarify really how this actually is supposed to work. So it loses control of the board, their ladder progress stays exactly where it was, a new survey question is asked. This is how classic format worked. Base card visible, player cards are lower, next card is revealed. So what I'll do here is I will take a snapshot of this, of the game board as it was, and what I'll ask just to confirm. So when, let's see, make sure that I am yet. When Mr. P regained control of the board, should he now be on card, I think it was, let me see.
Number 3.
Well, 3 was the incorrect guess, so you should be on number 4, right? And 3 is redealt.
Oh, is that how it goes?
That's what I'm trying to clarify here now.
I thought just the 3 stayed up, but I just lose control.
Yeah, but you got something wrong, so you shouldn't be awarded with a progression onto the card number 3. You got it wrong, right?
Okay. I wasn't too sure if that's how it worked. I thought I'm punished by losing control, but maybe I have that wrong.
Incorrectly. Let's say the card after the 4 should be is higher. Turned out to be a 3. Should he now remain, I suppose, remain on card 4, and card 3 should be removed, and now a new card from the original deck be face down in its place. Okay, so let's see. Pretty sure that's how the logic should work. Yes, your interpretation is correct, and it is an important mechanical detail to lock before development because it affects deck integrity, probability, fairness, and UI logic. Here's the correct rule behave for standard rounds based on your finalized format. Using your example, Mr. P base card was 4, calls higher, next card revealed as a 3, calls incorrect, correct outcome. ladder position resets to the last safe card. Correct. So he remains on card 4 as base card. He does not advance. He does not reset to the beginning. He stays exactly where he was before the mistake.
And
Correct card
does
3.
is the card number 3 then, is that removed from the deck?
I'm just about to go to that here.
Okay.
The incorrect card 3 is removed from play. That reveal 3 should not remain on the ladder, should not become visible on board, should not be reused. It is effectively discarded. This maintains deck integrity. Replace the ladder slot with a face down card. That position becomes new face down. Place all the cards pulled from the remaining deck. Okay. This ensures consistent ladder structure, fair randomness, clean visuals, exactly as you suggested. Control returns to survey question phase. Next, new survey question. Control determined again. No ladder reset. No penalty beyond losing a turn. Why this is the correct approach? Yes. So yeah, we got all that. So that is correct.
All right.
So it's giving here a final lock rule statement for the GDD. So you can insert incorrect call handling when the contestant incorrectly calls higher or lower. The reveal card is removed from play and replaced with a new face down card from the remaining deck. The contestant remains at their previous base card position and control returns to the survey question phase. So what I will do is I will copy that and I will come back to Replit and I will paste it in there to the agent. I will stay on plan mode and I will also pop in an image that I got of the game board, so they both go in there. Let me just open this out for people to maybe see it a bit clearer. Okay, and I will just start off the prompt. There is an issue. The game flow logic currently a player guesses high, that's no incorrect. They are returned to the beginning of the ladder. Return to the beginning of the ladder, which should not be the case. See below for the correct logic. And then I say also add this addendum to the game design document. So I'll put that in there, and what I will do here then is I will say have the architect look into this issue and devise a clean, safe, and robust approach to make it function correctly. Okay, so I'll just pop that in there and let them do their thing. So the agent is going to check out exactly what I'm saying. He's going to update the game design document also with that addendum and go and make the change. Now I got to run here, but we'll let the agent make that fix. I won't go any further, obviously. We'll keep it now for the next episode, and we'll see the next phase we can get to before we find the next bug in the game flow. So basically the whole goal here at the very start, we're not concerned about aesthetics or anything like that. We just want to make sure that the game logic is down and secured and it's actually working exactly how we want it to work. Obviously, we can, we can tweak some things, once we actually start, testing it with live players, and we'll see, making sure there's no dead air, everything is flowing good. Maybe the producer control panels can be tightened up a bit more as we kind of go through that, because you don't want the producer trying to do a million things, even though it's not crazy difficult, but we might be able to automate some parts of it. It looks to me like Replit is just generating the questions now itself also, because it hasn't asked for my open API key, so we're going to have to add that in. So that is where we're at. So a good catch, that is a significant logic issue. Let me have the architect analyze. The architect identified the exact issue and provided a clear fix plan. Here's what's happening and how I fix it. The problem: when a player guesses higher, lower, wrong, the current code resets their ladder progress bar. Resets their ladder. Oh yeah, you got it there. Okay.
Yep.
Resets their ladder progress back to the start. Instead, the player should stay where they were. Only the card that they guessed wrong on gets swapped out for the new face down card from the deck. Fix: in the wrong call branch of the game engine, instead of resetting progress, I'll keep ladder progress at its current value, the base card they were guessing from. Replace only the incorrectly revealed card with a new face down card drawn from the deck. Return to the survey question phase so the game continues from where it left off. But also update the GDD addendum in the new project notes. So these are the planned tasks. Now that the architect has laid out for the agent to make the changes. So what I would normally do here is now have the architect devise a clean, robust, it's my serious fat finger going on today, robust plan to carry out these tasks. But the architect will actually go into a little bit of more specific code plan now that the tasks are laid out. And like I say, the architect has an overall view of the entire project. The agent might just focus on specific things. So if we get the architect to lay out the code, it's easier for the architect to see if it's going to break something else or what issues it might have. So if the architect lays out the code for the agent, it'll keep guardrails on the agent. So that's usually why I would do that. After the agent puts a task list together, I'll call in the architect in to actually devise a clean strategy to actually implement those tasks, rather than the agent just going off the site and how it's going to implement it itself.
Right. Makes sense.
So yeah.
Gotta be watching out for the agent people.
Yeah, so when you see that little brain up there, that's the architect working.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Anybody that is not familiar, this is coding software, AI coding software. You can go and check it out at replit.com, replit.com. If you want to see it. And of course, anybody that is tuning in, this is the PumpFun Build in Public Hackathon. We are moonerdust.media. Go and check out our website over there. We are fighting hard here to win that 250k investment from the guys at PumpFun. I hope you're watching. I hope you're seeing what we're doing, and I hope everybody that is watching is learning something, because that is the ultimate goal here. And we hope that by the end of this, everybody will have a good, strong base of the softwares that they can use. So far, we've been using GPT. We have been using Replit, and we've been using some open art via Nano Banana and some image generation software for some minor aesthetic stuff so far regarding the cards, but we'll continue on with that as well. So, and we're using, of course, Adobe Photoshop at the moment as well to fine tune those. But yeah, go check out the website, everybody, moonerdust.media, and see everything that we got going on. All right, Edo.
All right, so you can see, so now you can see the difference between what the architect will come up with and the agent will come up with a task list. But when you say, okay, have the architect devise a plan to implement this task list, it'll actually go into specific files, sometimes code, different things like that. So here's the architect's plan. It's a clean, targeted fix that stays localized to one function in the game engine with no front end or schema changes needed. So that'll keep guardrails on the agent, doesn't go rogue, it won't go into any other files, stuff like that. So the fix all in server game engine.ts. Find the wrong call branch inside the call higher lower function where the incorrect case is handled. Replace the current reset logic with draw replacement card. All this, keep ladder parameter exactly where it is. Clear control flags for both players. Set phase back to survey. Set active player to null. Fire a wrong call last event for banners. Ice card edge case. If the replacement card happens to be an ice card, it stays face down. It only triggers if revealed later. Deck depletion edge case. The player's deck runs out. Reshuffle fresh deck before drawing. Why no front end changes are needed. We know that. Testing run through game, make a wrong call mid ladder and verify the player stays at their position with a new face down card. So it'll implement this and then it will run a test in its own little browser while it's doing it at the end. Usually it'll test that it's okay. It'll call back the architect to look over its changes, and if the architect sees anything that isn't great or might cause an issue, it will get it to correct it. So what we'll do here is we will start building. Notice the architect has laid it all out. Now you can see the new planned tasks here. So we'll start building. That'll put the agent to work. Now, like I said, I do need to jump here.
Well, I'm thinking, Adam, we're about
right back up here, and we'll be going into. What's that?
I'm sorry. Maybe there's a bit of a lag. My apologies. I'm just saying we're nearly 2 hours in anyway, so we might as well just. If you got a bounce right now, I can close it out. But we only got 15 minutes to hit the 2 hour mark. I know it's the weekend for everybody. So we did a little bit of graphic work. We're going to be back here again tomorrow, doing the next little phase for everybody. True. And we'll be doing some more graphics. And we're 2 hours in now, so that's a good run for today. And we got a little test of the MVP product. I hope everybody can kind of get a good idea now how quickly you can go from concept to a little test run in such a short span of time using AI. But yeah, go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure if you wanted to continue. I wasn't too sure if you wanted to continue doing some design work. But yeah, we are nearly 2 hours in, so I guess it's a good time to call on the weekend. I know people. It's a Saturday, so people want to be doing stuff with the family and things like that. So I think we've made some really, really good progress. You're starting to get the car design down and how that's all going to feel and look. We did our first little run, found our first issue with the game logic. That should be fixed here now. So for the next episode, we will start at the start again. And hey, let's get someone from our community or live stream audience. We'll maybe get 2 names, or we'll pit someone off against Mr. P, whoever's in there. It was SFC today, but we didn't get far enough. So the next
we gotta
next
finish
time, let's
that
get
game,
someone else
SFC.
on there and let me show the cards. Yeah. So I'm pretty happy with the progress we've made today. The game logic is looking pretty sound so far. We're going to find small little things as we try everything out, but in general, I think the initial build has been pretty solid.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty happy where we're at after only, a relatively small session here. Not too many hours, of course. So, and of course, we did do some minor graphic work today using ChatGPT and using, of course, Photoshop. And just to give people a quick little look at that exactly there. So this is the hearts. Of course, we popped the prompt in. We got our initial heart, and we're just kind of laying it out. And I did do the diamonds earlier. So we're going to fine tune and tweak some of these here, make sure that they all line up. The diamonds was one I did yesterday. But I just want to give you guys an idea of exactly how you would structure it and build it out. But there's the hearts, there's diamonds. So we'll continue on with more of those again tomorrow. We'll do another test on the game itself as well. now that we've put in this new data, and we have our first MVP little build where we can make sure all the functionality is working as it should. And then we'll start tacking on aesthetics and fine tuning and tweaking things like that. So yeah, I think it's been a good sesh, Adam. I'm really glad where we've got to so far.
Yeah.
Trench Buster, can I join and
I agree.
speak? We're actually just wrapping it up right now, Trench Buster. And we will be bringing people up to do the some live testing with us once we kind of get to that point. I like what you guys are doing. I would love to chat about functionality and stuff. Yeah, for sure. Please, I mean, drop in your thoughts in here. Are you part of our Moon or Dust Telegram, Trench Buster? If not, please head on over there and join it. We're active in there all the time, so we can talk about it in there too. And we'll be back live again tomorrow. I'm about to release my Minecraft volume bot. All right, cool. Sounds cool.
Awesome.
Are you building it as part of the
PumpFun
Hackathon as well, Trench Buster, or no? You guys need Discord. No, we're grand. We got Telegram. We've done the Discord thing. We got it. Hey, dude, we got enough socials that we're trying to worry about, and enough. We got more Telegram channels than I'd care to talk about. Well, yeah, it's part. What's part of? Oh, it's part of PumpFun. So your build is part of the PumpFun Hackathon. Awesome. Good luck with that, sir. I hope you do well. But yeah, I'd like to check it out, everybody. There is Trench Buster. Yeah, jump into the Moon or Dust Telegram, my friend, and let's talk. It trades tokens on the chain. Cool. Very nice. Yeah, but jump into the Moon or Dust Telegram. We can talk about some functionality stuff if you like. That is no problem. Again, we're kind of signing off for today now. I know it's the weekend. You got the Super Bowl kicking off here soon, and most people are going to be watching that, so we don't take up too much time. But we're very close. We got our first MVP down, everybody. So I appreciate everybody tuning in and watching today. We will continue to be building this out. And if you haven't seen already, we have already built a game show. If you go down into the previous streams, you can see it down there. It was Space Cat from Coffee Coin took on our AI whales this Wednesday just gone with our host Sean. And he walked away with a nice bag for the whale community there. He did. So yeah, that if you want to see exactly kind of the standard and the level of the game show that we're going to get to here ultimately, that we can play live with, you know, producer window and then the live game board itself. You can go and check that out and see down below. It's called Moon or Dust, and it's a deal or no deal style game. So check that out and you'll get an idea of what we're actually going to be building here ultimately. And the one we're building right now is a game that is based off of the classic 1980s game show called Car Sharks. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. Adam, you got any closing statements here before we sign off for the day? I think you're frozen. Your camera's frozen.
Yeah, my internet is
plummeting.
My internet seems to be taking a bit of a dump right now. So, but yeah, if you can hear me,
I can hear you. Yeah, you're lagging at the moment.
No,
all good. Go ahead.
All right, I'll sign off anyway. So, great session.
No worries.
Looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah, and thanks everybody for tuning in. And if you want to see the video that we have, you know, everybody's got to make a video to promote what they're doing as part of the PumpFun Hackathon. Of course, is pinned to our Moon or Dust X account. That the X account, of course, is Moon or Dust Media. At Moon or Dust Media, you can go and check it out there as well. And it's going to play right after this video here too. So if you want to see that and look at the entry video that we have submitted for this competition, stay tuned and watch till the very end. All right, I am Mr. P. That is my twin brother Adam, and we will be back again tomorrow for some more live building for the PumpFun Hackathon. And Adam, of course, remember, make sure that it plays out till the very end here before you shut it off on the PumpFun end, because it'll end here for StreamYard for us first, so we don't want it cutting off too early. So just make it finished up there before you turn off the live button. But yeah, it has been a good day. I hope everybody enjoys the Super Bowl if that's your thing. If not, I hope you're enjoying your weekend, spending some time with the fam, getting out there, getting away from some screens for a minute. And yeah, much love to everybody. And of course, we will see you all again tomorrow at some time. If you're not joined our Telegram, go over there and join it, and you'll get notified every time we go live, or if you're just watching here. And please, if you are watching, give us a follow here on PumpFun as well. It goes a long way. We want to try and up our viewers as much as possible. So yes, appreciate you guys, love you guys, and we will chat to you all tomorrow.
What is going on, everyone? I am DeFi Sean, and PumpFun and the entire crypto world is about to get hit with the coolest thing it's ever seen, because Mod Media is joining the Build in Public Hackathon on PumpFun. We've done it once with Lunar Dust, our high production game show that's about 25 episodes in front of everyone on YouTube. But this time, for our second game, we're going to be building live on PumpFun for everyone to see. So let's go ahead and get into it. And for those that don't know me, I am DeFi Sean, the owner of Crypto and Cause Investing, both the YouTube channel and the marketing company, and one of the co-founders of Mod Media, joined by my partners Adam and Mr. Pixel. We're building live entertainment that actually converts attention into on-chain activity. And the problem we're solving is simple. We all know crypto has amazing technology, but horrible engagement. Builders are either building something too complex or flat out too boring. Also, builders have the problem of getting people to engage and stay locked in, and most of the marketing they do feels fake or inorganic. Mod Media fixes that though by turning crypto into live, interactive entertainment. We go live 5 days a week with what we call Mod Trending, covering the top 5 projects trending on our bot. For those that didn't join us on YouTube building Lunar Dust, it is a high production deal or no deal style game where developers go head to head against our whales, picking their wallets for a chance to win up to 1,000 USD. Then that second game is coming to PumpFun. But exactly what are we going to be doing? We're going to be coding live. We're going to be testing it live. We're going to be bringing up community members to play the game, to break it, and to work out all the bugs in front of everyone to see. And at the same time, we're going to be bringing Mod Trending to PumpFun, Lunar Dust to PumpFun, and also teaching builders how to utilize AI for graphics, branding, and content creation. If you make crypto fun to watch, people stick around. And if people stick around, builders win. And when builders win, that's how entire ecosystems are built. And I hope PumpFun and our competitors are ready, because when Mod Media hits PumpFun, it is going to be essentially over. What we do, no one does it better, and the entire market is about to see that. So go ahead and strap up and enjoy the entertainment.